This is more about the president. Now we're going to talk about this IRS Tea Party situation, because this thing isn't going away, although I think we all agreed that it's not quite as big a scandal as the DOJ AP situation. So basically they were targeting the Tea Party organizations and things with words Tea Party in them, all these little signs that they might be conservative groups or particularly anti-tax groups. It still seems to be that we're getting more information by the minute, and that maybe it wasn't as targeted as it originally seemed. Again, is this just going to be one of the things the Republicans run with, and we just have to watch the fallout?
This is the new Benghazi, and
we'll get to that one in a minute.
This is, and it's just amazing that they act like this is the first time this has ever. First of all, this is what the IRS does, right? So, as Lawrence O'Donnell has pointed out already, so like I claim a home office, right? So that sets off a flag. That's one of the things they use to target people's tax returns.
Big Tea Party home office at Jimmy Dore's place.
Closer scrutiny. But this is the kind of things they do, right? So they also, at the same time, which they haven't been telling you, is that they've been also targeting progressive groups, right? And so with their term progressive was in. So what the IRS is supposed to be doing here is making sure that these groups that are requesting tax-exempt status, what they have to agree to is to not be political. When you have the name Tea Party in your name, that's going to be a flag that's probably a political group. Right. So now, you have to give them closer scrutiny.
Right. We should mention, of course, at all the Tea Party rallies, there are guys with signs. I don't pay taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. I'll never pay taxes. Don't tread on my taxes.
But, let's be clear that what this actually is about. These were groups that were applying for tax-exempt status.
Yes.
These were not already established tax-exempt. And we know that during the Bush administration that they also went after established tax-exempt organizations. But this is the point, like you were saying, Jimmy, that this is to prevent taxpayers from subsidizing political activity. And that is why they get this tax exempt, and they're not supposed to have that be their primary reason for existence. So that's why the IRS gave these organizations extra scrutiny. Granted, the way that they went about it was ridiculously stupid and wrong. But if you read the actual Inspector General's report, and we actually have this, a good review of the Inspector General's report at the top of bradblog.com, top story at salon.com as well, where we talk about what's not in the IG report. And what is not in the IG report is any evidence that the White House was aware of any of this. There's the IG, it may show up later, but at this point in the report, there is no evidence yet that the White House knew about this. There's no evidence that there was any political or malicious intent in this stupid screening that they were doing. The Inspector General, in his report, again, we may know more later, but at this point, it looks like there was a huge influx of applications after the passage of the ruling of Citizens United. And so they were overwhelmed, and they were trying, without any kind of guidance from upper management, according to the IG, to come up with their own method for filtering out these groups, prioritizing them, and they did it the wrong way. Granted, they did it the wrong way, but there doesn't appear to be any malicious intent.
Right. Now, let's say those are all facts, and not that facts have a lot to do with our public discourse these days, but let's just say that all those are actual facts. Is part of the problem here that we think, for some reason, that the president, no matter who he is, knows everything at all times? I have a belief that the president knows, I have to have dinner with Jay-Z tonight, and I have to go fundraising here, and not much else. But we seem to think a guy in Cincinnati was flagging the Tea Party, a low-level guy. How would the president not know? Why do we think the president's going to know everything?
Well, and so the only way this would ever even be a scandal is if it was linked, like you said, to the president ordering this, or somebody in the White House ordering this kind of scrutiny, which we know has happened in the past, and nobody gave a shit about it.
Right, and there's no evidence of that in this case.
Right.
In the IG report so far, again, more information could come out about that. One of the things that's also, I think, really important about this is that Congress had asked the Inspector General to do this investigation because they had been receiving complaints that some of these Tea Party applications had been delayed. So what we have to also look at when we see this IG report is that he was also asked to investigate whether any of these organizations were engaged in political activity. And at this point, when you read the report, there is no mention of whether or not these already established organizations engaged in political activity in violation of this tax exemption.
And I'm going to guess that most of them did, because
Of course.
here's a statistic for you. In 2008, 75% of the according to the IRS, 75% of the nonprofits in 2008 who were forbidden from political campaigning were in fact politically campaigning.
Of course. I mean, I just became Cenk. Did you see that?
Of course.
Of course they were. I mean, the super PACs, we all know that it's not said, it's not written down, but they are working with the campaigns. There is absolutely no doubt about that.